Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Justin Winbo, the ThrashMetalGuru. I've done a little bit of studying, and I've come to some realizations. So before I get into that realization real quick, I just want to address that I will be talking about a few things here right after this, so bear with me. I've also come to a realization that when I look at some of my videos, I tend to speak a little fast. I kind of do though. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to slow down. And also, to start off this video, I also need to deeply apologize to you guys who have watched me and who have helped me grow to 1,000 subscribers. I need to apologize to you because, I haven't been active like I said I wanted to, during my New Year's resolution. So, a lot of things have kind of gone by for the past 2 months. So, from January to February. January, it started out as a very, very, horrendous month, being that a lot of people that we loved so much have passed on, and so it's, it sucks. And so we kind of moved on into February, and I was not looking forward to Valentine's Day, for that one matter, because, it's just not my sort of thing, and so naturally enough, after learning about 4 or 5 years over that time of what not to do on Valentine's Day, not that if anything bad happened, it was just stupid. So the certain things you learn not to do, you tend to grow on that, you evolve from it, and you become a whole lot better. And so 2016 rolls in, me being 23, and that Valentine's Day rolls itself in. It's just another day I'm not looking forward to, but I'm not going to give away anything specific here. This is for somebody that, I really have to thank very much, and she has been very nice to me. She to me is another family member of mine. She's like family to me, is what I'm trying to say. And it's without a doubt that this person has been, the uttermost sweet to me. And since middle school and high school, and through on, she's been doing a whole lot better with her life, and I'm really happy for that. I'm, just dead on happy. Hearing about that makes me smile so much, and it's something that I enjoy, and, it's the sort of thing that, keeps me going. Even just thinking about this person makes me smile a lot, despite the fact that I can be an angry kind of guy a lot, all the time. I mean, practically, I'm always angry. Even though you're seeing me like this, I always have anger built up, and it's just me. But, I can channel anger properly, so everyone relax. But, I told this person how I felt, and, I got my response, and, it made me happy. And so, despite the impossibility, which I know, it doesn't matter to me. But anyways, I'm just saying, the point of that part was that, I'm feeling very happy, and I'm also feeling, 10 times better than what I usually do. And this certain person, not the person that I used to talk about sometimes on my channel. This is someone completely different who I've met before, and it was through a good friend of mine who I used to be neighbors with, who kind of introduced me to friends in middle school, and that's how it kind of started. And so ever since then, it's been fun. It's been a blast, and it's been I feel better. But anyways, moving on past that, straight on towards this month. Not really a whole much new going on, but I've kind of had some ideas. Now, I've told you guys about the whole fan fiction stuff that I'm doing for DC, the stuff that I'm doing for Star Wars The Old Republic. I'm also doing one on Dragon Ball Z. I'm also doing one on Mortal Kombat. All these other ones. So what I'm really getting focused on is the whole Star Wars The Old Republic stuff. Mainly because that their new chapter, which is called Disavowed, which will be coming out March 10th, that is something that I would like to definitely show. I mean, I might show a little bit from a trailer, or just give you my sort of view on that sort of stuff. And so that's the sort of thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to start reviewing stuff, or in a way become a critic. Yes, I'm going down that line where I'm wanting to be a critic, and in some way, to an extent, I've kind of already been a critic in some ways. Now, indeed, there are times where I'm very harsh with what I'm saying when I say about certain YouTubers, or a certain political fiasco that goes on. Hell, SOPA. You remember SOPA? That's one you can definitely do a critique on. You know, I'm a huge critic when it comes to certain things. You know, I hate trends. I hate all these other things, and I can give you my specific points on why I feel that way. But, you know, if I'm going to do a review or just critique something, you know, I'm going to be legit with what I think. I'm not going to have some unbiased, you know, thought to it. I'm not going to be like, you know, someone like blind leading the blind, you know. I'm not here to herd sheep into a field, you know, without knowing where I go. You know, you have to be like a captain on the ship. You have to know where you're going. You have to know your points. You have to know your crew. You got to know what they want. You got to know what you want. And you have to present yourself clear in that way. And, you know, I think that's the sort of road I'm going down. What am I going to be critiquing? I don't know. That's something I have in future regards to whatever I'm planning. Now, as for the whole Star Wars The Old Republic thing, which I kind of mentioned to you about, because I'm flip-flopping back and forth through these projects, and it's kind of giving me a migraine, to be honest. However, though, with the whole disavowed thing, it's kind of given me an idea for a story that I want to do. However, to this point, there's still a lot of waiting that I've got to do before I can do any of that. So right now I'm just focused on doing some screenshots and some stuff that I'm doing for something that I have planned future down the road. But the problem with this sort of story thing that I want to do is that there's the possibility, and from what people have said on the forums, is that these chapters that are going to be coming out for Knights of the Fallen Empire is that certain companions, maybe, it's not confirmed, it hasn't been 100% confirmed, that there's a possibility that the companions that you play with are gonna die. I don't know. I can't say that as a fact. That's just my theory on what people are saying. I don't know, but chances are I'm believing it. And if they happen to kill off one of my favorite characters, this is gonna probably spark a problem. Not really financially wise what I would do with BioWare and Star Wars, but it would also kind of cause a problem with the story that I wanted to create with certain characters. However, though, if they do maintain the roster of the certain characters that I have in my, you know, my Sith character who happens to be a light Sith and he turns out to be a Jedi later on, that's kind of the story I have. But if the whole roster of my characters of companions remain intact within the entire chapter of the game, that's a big if and a big maybe, then there is still a good chance that I can use them for that story. And I even had created characters that I have including to that, so we're waiting to see what happens. And yes, I'm waiting to see what happens. You know, my favorite character is my favorite companion. You know, I'm talking fast again. My favorite companion happens to be Jace Wilson. It happens to be one of my favorite characters, and the created character I have, I call him JS Kenobi. Obviously, JS, you know, I kind of, you know, named that after me because, you know, despite the fact that Qui-Gon Jinn happens to be one of my favorite Jedis, I also go with Obi-Wan Kenobi because, you know, I kind of like how the way he goes about things, and I can explain all that later, but what I'm saying is that I would love to connect a story that's 3,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, you know, just connect some of the dots between the Kenobi bloodline that goes 3,000 years into the era where the Battle of Yavin, you know, begins. And I already know the answer of what a lot of people are going to be saying. Well, it's not canon anymore. Obviously, it's not canon to that. I mean, I get it, but remember, this is a fan-made thing, so this is the sort of project that I'm going for. So that's the sort of thing that I'm going to be going with, and yes, I'm going to be involving characters that will still play a good role in that part, despite that some of them are already dead. I know, trust me, I can make it work. I have a creative mind, so, you know, I'll still make characters like Revan and all these other people, you know, make it fit in. And yes, I am going to I have this idea that kind of Easter eggs the whole Star Wars A New Hope with the sort of thing. I'll tell you the idea, but right now I just need the idea to grow. So that's the sort of thing that I have planned on. So all in all the things covered, you know, I'm planning on being a critique. I have a project that I finally have going, but I have to wait for the chapters to come out. So these are the sort of things that I'm going to do. So before I end it off, I'm also going to start doing my very first product placement. In saying that this video is brought to you by Star Wars Uncle+Milton+Lightsaber wall decorations, or they can be used, you know, for play. I'm going to actually play this one more time. If you like to have fun with it, definitely. This is something I would definitely recommend. You can put it on the wall. You can have fun with it. Use it as a nightlight. It's pretty damn good. I'll even put a link for it at, like Amazon, because they sell like these pretty good things. They're pretty damn well good buying. They're like, what, 27 bucks? As far as I'm aware. But yeah, so that's the lightsaber hilt to it. That's the whole entire light blade to it. That's the sort of thing. Now, they sell these at Amazon. Now, if you happen to be a young viewer over, like, under the age of 18, or, younger, ask your parents before doing that. Like I said, that's how most commercials do it. Ask your parents before doing such and such. But yes, that's how I'm going to end this video off. I am Jasper Winbow, the ThrashMetalGuru. You guys have a very wonderful day. Catch you later.